In the top position, playing for Team Animeski desu, it's NaTsUDoRaGoN!
The very same. And his opponent down 0-1 in this best of 3 series. From Team Living a Lie, it's HerpityDerp. That's actually his team name. It's Time,
Nice.
but it's Living a Lie. I read it in the thing.
Wait, it's Living a Lie, but the clan tag is Time?
Yeah, because one of the things Time says is Living a Lie.
Nice.
It's true. I've seen many South Parks.
Right, so we're looking at gas for HerpityDerp, who appears to be going unpleasant. I don't know, this either says Mass Reaper or Factory Tech. I don't know which I prefer. Actually, is this a decent map for mech?
It's okay. You can get some nice concaves using the Zelnagas.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if you can get up to someone's natural, it becomes very difficult to dislodge you, I imagine. Just because there's the sort of the choke that would otherwise be useful, that thus becomes a bit dangerous. But we'll see what he does. I mean, he's going to have enough gas, I think, to just about make a factory when the barracks finishes. I don't know.
Should he? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
NaTsUDoRaGon's gone for a fast second racks. Think we might see something like 2 racks pressure?
I like to think so. Could be quite fun. The question is, what the hell is he going to
2 racks
make?
pressure.
Is this going to be Marines at this stage? Because he hasn't got anything else.
Why can't I ban people? There's a kid in the chat being pretty BM. Just slagging off his opponent.
I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't keep people.
Mention it to Vojin or someone. And we're seeing the Yakuti Sacks of NaTsUDoRaGon's SCV as it finally gets shot at. It's even worse with probes because then if you don't keep the damage up, he's going to see the double racks, and that's actually especially in Bronze League, that's an oh god what the hell moment. Especially because there's no gas, so you can just make a lot of Marines and go kill him. Oh, there's the gas.
Well, it's about time. You can do some really interesting barracks reactor pressures in TVT and indeed in any matchup, but it's just it's something that you don't always get the chance to do at every time,
and he's got
especially not if you take your reactor just a little bit late.
Yep. Be interested to see what happens. I mean, at this stage, Natsu has the money to expand and isn't doing so. So what's the plan here?
Well, he must be building up to it. Surely you don't get 600 minerals. Yeah. Compared to HerpityDerp, who is going for the 1-1-1 that I prophesied, like the gaming witch that I am.
Oh yes, I'm actually faintly concerned. Actually, no. There's the expansion. Still has 300 minerals, but that's fine. I'm actually faintly concerned about these 5 Marines that are sort of slugging their way across the map, because I think they actually might do a lot of damage if they can get to the other side without dying. If they can get to up the ramp without taking too much damage. I don't know though. They're parading along. Actually, nope. There we go. There's a bit of formation for them. They might actually take some serious killing here.
Yeah. He's actually managed to trade a little bit okay there, and he's now gonna pick off a few more Marines. This I don't know which way this is going.
The thing is, had HerpityDerp just pressed A and clicked vaguely in the direction, he'd have done so much better. And HerpityDerp getting a Banshee, for a second there that was a Raven, and I was just like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever! But no.
Yes, Banshee's now coming out for HerpityDerp, as is pretty common in TVT, but a really sharp build here, identifying that his opponent, went for a second factory barracks pretty quickly, and therefore isn't really going to have that much energy for scans. So a smart identification, smart pickup by HerpityDerp, perhaps a little ironically.
Oh, the bunker. He's going to make a bunker, but it's too little too late now. Oh, he's not got enough Marines to hold this.
No, he really doesn't. He needs to be so careful. The issue with this build is with the pressure that's coming out of NaTsUDoRaGoN, as we see. He's in real trouble at this point. He doesn't have the forces. He should make you really need a Hellion, to be quite honest.
He's got the Banshee. If the Banshee can actually do some damage.
Yes, the Banshee's actually going to quite possibly clear up these Marines. But are we going to see an instant reaction out of missile turrets? Yes, missile turrets. So that forced reveal of the Banshee has meant that this isn't going to turn up with quite the impact that it could have done.
Yep. I'm actually looking to see at what point he's going to start using the factory HerpityDerp has. There we go, tanks coming out of that. Which, given that his opponent's making Marauders en masse, is somewhat... Wow, HerpityDerp committing to the one base play. Oh no, sorry, making command center. Ugh. I was looking at this thinking, oh my god, did you throw down 2 more barracks? No. It's fine. So, the Banshee's going to go out and not do it. The second Banshee's going to come out and join it. What's he going to try and get done in that time? Because, I mean, he can't get in. He knows he can't get in because he's taken damage on it. He must have seen the turrets by now. No, he hasn't. Ooh. He's going to be in for an unpleasant surprise when those 2 Banshees clump up. How many Banshees does it take to kill a turret?
I don't think 2 can do it. Banshees are pretty flimsy in their way. I mean, they have quite a high health, but they're not very good at actually taking damage, and especially against something as high damage. Cloaking against a turret is brave.
And it might die there. He needs to take something down. I mean, taking down the eBay would be something, I guess, but...
Yeah, getting himself out of there, probably the right decision, and Banshee is...
Oh, the mine. Don't go any closer! Oh. Just hold position. Hold position, you'll be fine. Oh no. Marines can see it. Can they get there? No, they can't.
Getting a couple more kills there. 5 kills on the Banshee, which is not too bad, but it does finally get taken out by the turret, and with only 5 kills, I'm not sure if that was worth the whole tech path, with cloak, with everything.
Yeah, I mean, the only advantage that he has is his opponent still has 4 workers at the natural not mining. So that lost mining time might have been worth it.
You are possibly correct, yes. The worker lead for NaTsUDoRaGoN is pretty strong, though.
Yes, those 4 workers will mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Once again.
Well, actually, I don't know. Let's have a look. I was going to say, how many idle workers does Natsu have? And as soon as I start looking, he pulls them all to the natural. So yeah, none.
Currently none. The economy is much stronger for Natsu than it is for HerpityDerp, unfortunately, for him. But he does have tanks, which are great for defense and offense. And there is, I mean, if he pushed with these tanks, he could theoretically just win. There's no reason why that wouldn't happen. The game is not over by any stretch.
Nope, and he is repairing that Banshee. I would like more to see the just focusing on the worker production, because that's his main weakness at this stage. It's the fact that he's down in workers.
It absolutely is, and I wouldn't even be averse to seeing a 3rd command center, because I don't think he's going to win if he stays on 2 bases.
Well, Natsu's going for a drop and may go for a 3rd base behind it.
Yeah, he could siege up a tank in his main, and that would deal with the drop very handily, I think.
Well, as it is, there's nothing to defend them, and the tank has just rolled out. It transformed and rolled out, and unfortunately that isn't going to save the workers in the main. No. They're rapidly transforming from alive into blood splat on the floor. Nice little surround there. And you're going to get a couple of add-ons, of all things. But the tanks... This is super interesting. Oh, nice. Oh. The other tank is going to kill it.
Oh.
That's harsh. There we go.
That was really cool. I don't know if that was worth it, but that was sweet.
That was pretty shiny. I will give it that. Regardless of whether it worked or not, that was pretty damn shiny.
Yes.
Actually, if you siege up a tank in the middle, do workers path around it, or do they just mineral walk through?
I am almost certain that they will go through it. But I actually know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Actually, this is exemplifying Timmer's problem. Timmer's main problem is he's pulled all of his workers to his natural, and yes, it's oversaturated, but it's only oversaturated by 8. That means that he should have 8 workers on his main. Yeah.
Yep. But he doesn't. He's not making... His macro is his weak spot rather than his actual control, whereas I think Natsu tends to take quite brave engagements at times, but his macro is actually very solid.
It's one of those fantastic uses of the word brave.
Yes.
Such
hero.
Well, that's the thing. It is a very British thing that we say, oh, hello, drop happening, and I wasn't focusing it. Yeah. Oh, tank's going to deal with it. Banshee's going to deal with it. Thank you. Get out. I mean, okay, there were some workers killed in that engagement, but it's still, we're looking at 6 versus 7. It's all about it.
I'll say that Natsu's, whilst his worker production is really good, his timing on thirds is pretty bad.
You're saying this one's a little late?
Well, it's not even that it's a little late. It's that it's 14 minutes and he hasn't started building a third command center yet.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, he has.
Yes.
Oh, here it is. Well, it's still really late.
It is still late, but that's fine. I mean, that's
like
sort
10
of
minutes.
That's one of those things that you go, bronze, silver.
Yeah, it is. Of course, it is. But like that's just my. If he's listening to the stream, my advice would be build that earlier because you can.
He had the money.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how much damage this attack's going to do. I think HerpityDerp's going to be vaguely okay. I think he might be able to hold this, but it's going to be tough.
If he positions his tanks nicely, then he should be able to. But as it is right now, I don't particularly like the tank positioning, especially considering there's this one in the back of the main that isn't doing all that much, and that has the only 2 medevacs out of position as well.
Yep.
It's going to be a bit variable. There's not a lot of splash for Natsu. That's all I can say. Not a lot of splash.
There's a single tank that's not sieged up. There it is. It's going to now not be able to help him that much in this fight. If HerpityDerp pulls back, he needs to pull back a little.
Yeah, I like.
Oh,
that's cool.
Beautiful stuff. The spotting with the Banshee.
I was pick off the tank. That's nice. And getting out. See, nice control.
Yep.
Very nice control. And he's actually kept the tank in the back, which means that it's harder to drop him. I'm kind of torn on it, but I still think it's probably worth it in the long run. He's just going to be as annoying with his Banshee as possible, but he has to be super, super, super careful.
Actually, to be honest, I would just like to see him kite the army back towards the tank line.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Beautiful. And also move that rear tank forward a little. There we go. Natsu's just like, you know what? I don't think this is working. I'm going to go home.
Yep, he's driven him away. Even with that inferior army supply. Nice. Very, very, very nice.
And that's one of the strengths of TVT. That's what TVT is. TVT is World of Tanks. It's positioning. It's chess with tanks. And
I
occasional
guess away
Banshees.
again. So many scans have been baited out by this Banshee.
Yep, that's what, 3 scans now?
It could be more. Nice.
Are there turrets in place to deflect this? Yes, there are.
Oh,
The bunker is
man.
not finished.
And this
but
Banshee is going to even see. It could have even seen that drop on the way in. So it's possible that with. I don't think he noticed.
You notice now.
These Marines heroically attempting to engage the tank. But actually, I think this may have been... Yes, and HerpityDerp notices... Oh, what a sweet pick-up on that medevac. It's even. He's taking that tank down whilst he has the opportunity and now pulling back to allow his tanks to fight. What a great engagement from HerpityDerp. Fantastic micro. Shame about the medevac full of units, but even so, really nice.
That would have been
really,
a nice
really
pickup for Natsu, but unfortunately he didn't quite get to it. The thing is, Natsu's still way ahead. I mean, there is no metric under which Natsu is not winning at this point. And he actually does... He may have a few too many workers. Just a couple.
He makes too many workers. He makes 4 bases of workers.
And to be honest, once you get to your 4th base, your main should be really mining out. So you...
Yeah, really.
Oh, and HerpityDerp responding to the hole in his defences by sticking up another turret. Good job. It would be nice if he put those workers back on. There we go. That's the thing. Like there's something to be said for shift clicking your units back, but there is also something to be said for every so often just going shift control F1. Just just get all the idle workers and send them somewhere.
I actually rebound both of my keys for that, and I don't know what they are anymore. I could change them, but I don't use them anyway. Like, yeah. I know where my stuff is.
Yeah, I really need to change my key binding for my all army, so I stop using it.
Yeah, I think Fighting Frog was having a similar problem up in the Master tournament on Thursdays. He was talking about that.
Well, it was also I think it was him who sacrificed. He basically sacrificed 2 war pins of zealots for nothing because he all army commanded and pulled them from. He basically warped them in the back of his opponent's natural, and then walked them out. Not moved, walked them out.
Yep. This is why we got to be careful, kids. This Banshee from HerpityDerp absolutely doing work. So once again, spotting the positioning of the army and allowing HerpityDerp to be as ready as he ever will be for this force of Natsu. But
Natsu's on 3 days. Herpity is not. And that army's going to try and engage. The tank twitched. It saw something.
Yeah. It thought about it.
Although that right there is an interesting insight on the mechanics of the game. that tank twitched as if it was trying to fire, but it didn't instantly fire. So there is a turning time for the turret.
I don't think it's a turning time so much as it's a reaction time on the unit. Some units have a wait period before their first shot. Some don't. Marines don't. It saddens me.
Marines, yeah, that's the thing. They're meant to be on hair triggers anyway.
There's a reason for it, obviously. It's so Bio can start to step on things. But this is actually a pretty nice engagement for HerpityDerp, all things considered, until the moment where those tanks siege up. He's now pulling back, allowing the army to be brought, bringing to bear his own forces. And actually, this is very close.
Yep, HerpityDerp manages to take that fight. I mean, if he pushes forward and Natsu loses that tank,
wow.
That was pretty shiny, actually.
That's evened it up quite considerably.
Yep. He's now only behind... Oh, wow, Natsu. Stop making workers. I never say this.
You're too good
no.
at probes and pylons. This is the opposite of what normally happens in Bronze to Silver.
Well, that's the thing. Like, someone told Natsu... Like, I had this happen. There was a guy who never played before.
Grubby told a story where he himself did it.
Yeah, he made too many workers.
Yeah, no, he didn't make too many workers. He made 130 probes.
Wow. The problem is...
The only race that's viable for is Zerg.
Yes, because you can make them into something else and free the supply up. Yes. Oh my god. He's actually... if he doesn't go for the kill now, if he holds here and just tries to build up, he's just killed 20 workers of his opponent. And his opponent's...
Now his opponent's only on 83.
His opponent's now only on double his worker supply, having killed 31 of them.
Yep.
Also, Natsu, a word to the wise, don't drop mules on a base that doesn't have a base at it.
Doesn't help much. They are spending most of their time jogging. SUVs is cool. Yeah, needs more bases. You have like 5 base probes.
Yep.
I call them probes every time, but they aren't.
Well, yeah, for you they are probes. When you play, they're probes. When this guy's playing, they're something else. But
all of the probe.
All of the probe. Oh, and another potential engagement coming down. Natsu trying to push forward, but nobody's got the Viking count. Where's the tanks for Herpety?
I don't know. They're sat in the back. The tank for Natsu is only just now sieging up, but actually with this superior marine-based army, thank goodness the tank is now being brought to bear, but it's about to be sniped out by the marine, and this force of Natsu is just crushed through.
Yeah,
once again, re-securing the lead. His macro is just too strong. It is in fact actually too strong for itself.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, the disadvantage he had in not having that, in having so many workers, he's overcome by the fact that when he needed it, he had the Marines and he could make 12 Marines at a time. I mean, Natsu is having the first world problems here. He's supply blocked on 181 supply.
A little bit, yeah. Supply blocked on 181 supply.
Bad rally.
Nice positioning on the tanks, but not on the army. He has to be so careful not to lose those. However, I still think this engagement slightly favours HerpityDerp, but will it be enough?
No! The Marines crushed through.
No. The engagement favoured him, but not the actual fight.
Well, the engagement favoured him. The problem is when you're massively outnumbered, there's only so much you can do.
Mm-hmm. You can take good fights with 4 Blinkstalkers all day, but if you're fighting against Colossi, you're still not really going to win.
Nope. Oh, Natsu's all clumped up. But that tank isn't going to do anything. Never mind.
Doesn't matter. HerpityDerp down to 66 supply. And these huge marine force of NaTsUDoRaGoN just skipping out on Marauders entirely, which is probably not the worst idea, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, if he can get around the tanks, if he can just out-position him, then the Marauders are a bonus, not a requirement.
Yep, and that's basically almost exactly what's happening now. Natsu looking, just going for the kill, really. I think he might just stim up this ramp, and no, he's not going to.
He's pulling back. I think that's probably a good plan, actually, given what happened last time he pushed up a ramp like that.
Yeah, learning from potential mistakes.
But he's learning from he's learning from previous mistakes, and that's awesome to see.
It is. The chat's commenting on how I keep talking about probes. Look, okay. When your race wins IEM, then you get to name them what you want.
Oh, he's going to get shot down by the medevac's getting shot down, and the tank's taking the Marines out.
There.
It was not the best of drops, but it will have to do.
Something that I really love in TVT is actually the tank drop.
What? You mad?
Drop tanks into their main.
You're a madman, but I like it.
It works really well. Like, in a really weird way, it works.
Okay.
There's so few Marines here, but
No.
with that many medevacs, he's picking up and leaving.
Yeah.
He's
This is HerpityDerp being like, no, you will not take this game. Also, Natsu won game one, didn't he? Let's give him a plus one.
playing the spoon. The chat asking about upgrades I've just seen. That would be 3-2 for Natsu,
wow.
and 1-2 and 2 mech for HerpityDerp, which is a bit odd.
Well, no, I can see why he's gone for it. He's gone for the tank army.
There was a drop in Natsu's main that we've missed, and the main is gone.
Is it?
Yeah, we
Wow.
missed that. I don't know if it's just flown off or something, but yeah, that wasn't bad.
Standard.
Good stuff there.
Well, the thing is, we were looking at the attack on the other end of the map.
Yeah, we were looking at the other end of the map where the action was like going down. But
The thing is, if Natsu could have taken that, that would have been the end of the game, regardless of what happened in his own main. But,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, 2 base versus 2 base. Where the hell is his other command center? He's floating it away because he doesn't want to bother mining from his natural, which is dry.
to the skies, says the command center, drifting off in the direction of the probably, I would say, the 6th base you might want to be taking.
Yeah. Well,
There's a nearer one, Natsu. It's even conventionally the 3rd. Probably not in GBT, actually.
ooh, HerpityDerp taking a bit of a poor engagement there.
Yes, but now his tank is sieged up and bringing to bear that incredible splash damage. Even if it only got a couple of shots off it, will have helped swing it. But it's, once again, not looking like it's quite enough. Natsu with superior upgrades and superior control.
And just having 11 Marines at a time being produced. Whereas HerpityDerp, with 793 minerals, isn't making anything at all. That's a weakness in your play. I think HerpityDerp, you need to be making stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, let's have a look. I mean, after that drop in Natsu's main that killed off his base, he's still on 68 workers.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me at all. I guess this is the this is the catch
Yeah.
in having such a strong economy, because we can slag it off all you want, but actually he's managed to lose more workers than I would consider acceptable in the game, and he's actually still on the amount of workers I want to have by 3 bases.
He's actually lost more workers than a lot of bronze and silver players ever make.
He's lost. Yep, he's that's so true. He's lost 51 workers, which is
That's a
yeah.
lot.
I mean, it's a lot. That means he's built 120 workers in this game.
Yep.
Which is twice as many as I think I would like. I tend to like 72 workers, which is 3 fully saturated bases and a gas base.
And there's a drop going in. Don't know how much
There
damage
is,
it's going to
and
get done because it's flying directly over the Marines!
It's dead.
Oh dear. Oh no. Also, I love the fact that Natsu's natural has 3 workers long distance mining gas. That's amazing. I don't even
See how long
care.
it'll take them to mine that. Oh god, there's still 1,000 gas left.
And they're only mining they're only mining 3 gas every 30 seconds or so. Sorry, 15 gas every 30 seconds or so. The thing is, at this point, Natsu doesn't know his opponent has a second base. And thus might be slightly unpleasantly surprised by the size of the army in the main.
Well, he scanned. He's had a look at it.
So why is he in the natural?
I actually think that at this point he should fix up all his medevacs and doom drop every single part of the base.
Yeah.
That's not because I think it's necessarily going to work.
Oh
It's
wow!
because
He might
he's
accidentally find this
forced
base.
to do it.
He might find it accidentally.
Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
uh,
It's there. It's right there. It's right there. Yes, he's seen it. I think he was sending workers around the back. And this right here is the nail in HerpityDerp's coffin.
yes. Losing this base, his most mining of bases, is going to
Yes.
sting.
Very mine.
And
Much base.
such base, wow.
Such base.
These SCVs are actually fleeing right past the extra base of... Oh, he's found it! Oh no!
He's found it, but he's now down on 7 workers.
Yeah, that's not many. I mean, I know we said this before, but that is an 11th of the workers that his opponent has. Now, the fact that he's been at an 11th of his workers' opponents for the majority of the game changes nothing.
Yeah. And attack move! Attack move! Don't aim it. Don't walk move them.
No, he actually starts their forwards. This is not a very great engagement, and he's taking more splash than he needs to from these tanks. So this was not the most effective engagement from Natsu. But I'm not sure it matters at this point. What with these Marines moving forwards once again into tank fire because they're insane, but they're picking up.
And Natsu's all like, I'm gonna drop all over your tanks now. Yeah, that's it. At this point, Natsu's economy exists, and HerpityDerp's does not. In fact, he's on 17 supply. Let's tally up what he's got. He's got 9 Marines and 7 workers. And Natsu
he got nothing. He got nothing because he just left.
When your opponent has more tank supply than you have supply,
it's bad.
It's time to call it a day.
It's bad.